Hey guys, welcome to Girl Talk. This is our first ever podcast interview, and I wanted to take advantage and introduce Meagan. She's been with us for a year and a half at Ninette Hair Studio, and we just want to share a little bit of her story and what are her next ventures coming up. We wanted to know what got you into the world of hairstyling and how has been your journey since coming to Miami?
So I was telling you a little bit about this earlier, but growing up, I was a tomboy into like sports and weight. I kind of kept the interested in beauty side away from everybody else. Once like high school, I dabbled in it a little bit, but when COVID happened, I dug more into watching YouTube videos of hairstyling like that. I just thought it was cool to watch how many different techniques there were. I didn't really know that it could be a career until I had met my hairstylist back in Michigan. She's a blonding specialist, which is what I love to do. And I saw she was super successful and she made a whole career out of it. I thought it was really inspiring. So I realized like, okay, I can do that too. And then moving to Miami just motivated that even more, like seeing all my like colleagues and how they're super successful. I learned so much from them.
Amazing. I love learning today about how you thought you had to be athletic only, and then you started incorporating this passion that you have for beauty in your day-to-day, and that was really cool to learn. I never knew that before. Moving from Michigan to Miami must have been quite a change. Can you tell us about what made you make that decision and how it influenced your career path?
So yeah, I'm from a really small town in Michigan. My sister moved down here a couple months before I did. She was kind of like jokingly one day like, oh, you should come down, like move down here. And I knew I wanted to get out of the cold, but I didn't really have any plans to do that in the near future. But she
How many years apart are you two?
4.5 years. So we weren't super close growing up, but when she left for college, we got super close and we're like best friends now. And she was like, you should move down. And I was like, maybe I should. The next day we were like planning it all. It definitely was a bit of culture shock, which I knew it was going to be, but I think it's been a really good thing for me, and I think it's brought me out of my shell. I think everyone in Miami would describe me as super outgoing and very bubbly, and I don't think a lot of people back home would describe me that way, so I feel like it
almost allows you to like rewrite your story.
Exactly. I came into it thinking like, okay, no one knows who I am. I can just be whoever I want to be, and
like an authentic, true self.
Exactly. I was kind of shy and anxious, and a lot of people know that I am shy and anxious, so if I'm outgoing now, they're gonna be like, oh, what happened? But I'm like, okay, no one knows how I am here, so like I can just be that from the start. So
amazing. How old were you when you decided to move?
I think I was 19, so I'm 20 now. I'm about to turn 21. Definitely everyone was like, oh my God, you're so young, you're going so far away from home, but my parents knew since I was younger that as soon as I'm done with high school, I'm getting out of Michigan, getting out of the cold, like moving far away. So they weren't really surprised at all. I think it's been very like empowering, living on my own and just being in a new city, building my career and everything.
And connecting with your true identity.
Yeah.
We've really seen you making a mark and gaining traction with your clients. And what do you think contributed to doing so well during your time here with us?
I think a lot of it just had to do with marketing myself in any way possible. Like, no, nothing was off limits, I guess. I did a lot of posts on Facebook and everything, but one day on Reddit, was looking through a thread. I just commented, and I have like 5 or 6 clients from Reddit now, and they've referred other people to me. So I think I kind of realized that the worst thing that can happen is you don't get anyone from a post or something. So why not just put that out there, and if people find you and they want to like come see you, then it works.
I guess I go on Reddit to ask myself the question, so I would have never thought that people are asking about hair on Reddit, and that you can comment and get a client off of that. I'm curious to what was the question that you answered? Like, what was?
I don't know what the question really was, but just super vague, looking for a hairstylist. So, and I just listed my Instagram, and I had a couple of people reach out. Like that brought me 5 clients, but maybe made 10 because they had referred somebody else. And that was just through a comment, like not even a post that I had made myself. So I think I kind of just learned to not push anything aside, and anything can work.
It was pretty amazing. From the get-go, you really gained a lot of traction. Congrats. Your bubbly personality and positive energy has really made an impact here at the studio and been a joy to be around. How do you think that has influenced your relationship with your clients and your colleagues?
I think kind of just showing up like how I really authentically want to be has definitely drawn in the sort of people that I want to be around as well. And in my chair, it creates connections with all different personalities and walks of life with my colleagues. I've been able to create really strong friendships that I feel will last, even moving and with phases of life, like just putting myself out there and kind of attracting that energy in has made a huge difference. And it's felt very empowering to know that people like me for me, and I'm going to connect with people that I'm supposed to connect with when I act true to myself.
And in that, I'm happy that you were able to show that side of you and be your authentic self and fill us with joy in the process. You know, we all feed off of one another.
Yeah, I think like that's kind of what also drew me to this studio versus other salons that maybe were in the area. Was I felt that you wanted to promote being your true self, and I could tell even before I applied here that was the culture here, and it's true. So I think the same
that's
thing,
really
like,
incredible. I love to hear things like that because, you know, you're acting true to yourself. And so when people are able to read that and pick up on it, even at it's such a long distance through social media, that's really cool. And I'm glad you were able to be a part of that. Now, the bittersweet part of this interview is that you have decided to leave Miami and move to Austin. And that has taught me, and I was sharing this with our team, that sometimes you have to adapt to changes that you don't welcome, like you don't want them and you reject them. I think it has finally settled in, and I stopped rationalizing your decision and just, I want to be here for you to push you with all the positive vibes into this new venture of moving to Austin. We are intrigued to find out what were some of the factors that made you make that decision, especially after having such a successful establishment here in Miami.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people know I met my boyfriend when I first moved down here. He's from here, but he told me right away, like, oh, I'm leaving in a couple months. I'm going to grad school in Austin. And I was like, cool, I don't care. Like, I just met him, so I was like, oh, that doesn't affect me. But yeah, then we ended up getting a relationship and we were doing long distance for a bit. The first time I visited Austin, I kind of fell in love with it, and I was like, okay, wait, this city's actually really cool. It felt super homey. Austin kind of feels like a Midwestern town at a larger city scale. People are super nice, super welcoming, and just the type of things I like to do, hiking, and I love live music and stuff. So I think just the more and more I visited, the more I felt kind of at home there and just can picture a life there. Well, it's obviously hard to leave clients, my job, and my friends here. Right now, it's going to be even harder in 2 to 3 years. I love Austin as a city too. I can really see myself there more long term.
Might as well sooner than later. Yeah. I've never done it. I've always grown my clientele in the one city. I've put my business, established my business in the same city. Like, I've always said, like, with our kind of career, we should stay in one location. And so I agree with that if you're going to make a move, it's better sooner than later because it's only going to get harder later.
Yeah.
I love that you're able to hike. What is it like there? Like, are the mountains like right by the city?
When I thought Texas and Austin, I thought like desert, flat, everything, but it's very, there's lots of hills and there is lots of like actual hiking too. And just outside of Austin, there's so many like state parks. Like, it's very green city, which I feel like Miami's done a great job with making such a big city still stay kind of green, but I'm missing that, like the woods and like
of course.
the different kinds of trees that I'm used to in Michigan are not here. Like, of course the palm trees are great, but it doesn't feel the same.
Makes sense.
There's so much of that there and just so much nature and kind of more of the, here obviously there's yachts and boats on the ocean, but I'm used to like tubing on the lake and kayaking and stuff on the lake, and there's a lot more of that.
So it feels more like your childhood home, but in a bigger city.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. We're definitely gonna miss having you here at the studio. What lessons and experiences from Miami and Ninette do you plan to bring forward with you in Austin?
So like I said earlier, I think I've made some of my closest friendships in all of Miami in the studio. I think just the empowerment and everyone wanting to be their authentic self, like lifting each other up, has helped create those connections. And I think just having that environment has been very crucial in my
early stages
growth.
Of your career.
Like me being just young in general, I think like personally as well. Helping my confidence and having that support far away from home made a huge difference. So I think maybe knowing how helpful it was for me to continue that moving forward and maybe be that person for somebody else.
Yeah, like working as collaborators,
Mm-hmm.
you know. As you prepare to move to Austin, what message would you like to share with your clients here in Miami who have entrusted you in the beginning of your career? What would you like to share with them?
I guess I just want to like thank everyone for trusting me, and obviously being a newer stylist, I know as a client sometimes it can be scary. If the client tells you like, I trust you, you're like, okay, like I got this. Like,
absolutely, because there's nothing worse than a client who is nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They make you nervous. So the fact that you had clients who just upfront were trusting you allows you to succeed,
mm-hmm.
basically. And that's why you did succeed, you know, because you had, well, one, you have a beautiful portfolio, like your Instagram account, your work has always been outstanding. I think it has been really easy for clients to trust you when you have such beautiful posts, you know, and then on top of it, you already came like so prepared. And that's the thing, like a lot of stylists don't realize like how prepared they are out of beauty school. They have a lower image of themselves versus like you came knowing what you knew and allowed us, the team, to boost you and help you and guide you in how to maybe have certain conversations, but you always knew what you were doing. And clients really read off that because that you can't hide insecurity. When you're not secure in what you're doing, when you're just kind of winging it, it kind of shows for clients at times and it makes them really nervous. With you, like you said, all your clients were just like trusting you from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just do it out of nowhere. They had foundation to trust you.
Yeah, and I think that I do trust myself. I trust my work as well, but still being a newer stylist, sometimes there was that either insecurity or that doubt. And just knowing that my clients did trust me motivated me and helped me through that. And then it ended up being okay, and I was worried for nothing. But when you are starting off in your career, it's easy to get into that. And I think just the trust that my clients had has been very helpful for me. And I just want to thank all my clients for trusting me with that.
Well, moving to a new city means making new connections and building a new clientele. What would you like to say to your future clients?
I want them to know that I'm never going to stop learning. Obviously, being new into my career, I'm at the point where I am still needing to always be learning. But I get so much joy out of doing that learning that I don't think I'll ever stop. I love to just watch all the YouTube and Instagram videos of all the hairstylists and talk to my colleagues and everything and learn stuff from them, ask questions. So I think just them knowing that I'm always going to try to stay up to date on trends and always going to be a perfectionist in my work, and I always want to make my clients happy. So I want them to trust that when they sit in my chair, they will be happy, and I will get them there if even the first time it's not. I want them to know that I'm going to strive for that excellence that I know that they deserve.
And I think one of our foundations is that we love to give people like the results they're looking for, but at the same time maintain integrity, give them good advice regarding their hair, maintenance at home. Like you do all that during your visits, you know, with your clients, and that gives them a really well-rounded experience. So I think, yeah, clients need to know that they're not just in good hands because they're with someone who, you know, can deliver great results, but will do it with integrity. So like you said, sometimes it's not the first session, sometimes it takes multiples. If there's anything that I hope rubbed off is that integrity of the hair, like builds a career. If clients would only give you an opportunity in Austin, I know that they're gonna be so impressed. Well, on a personal note, I wanted to say that you've really impressed me from the beginning. Your willingness to do anything, your willingness to help out, your willingness to have fun was always really refreshing. And you came in a year that personally I was going through a lot because I was going through some growth and like not being able to figure out or pinpoint decisions I had to make. And you always knew like how to handle me in a way, and you were always helpful even in personal matters. Like I will forever be grateful of how we used to be like doctors for Leo, my son. We're gonna miss you tremendously. Like I can't even.
Just don't think about
Next week is gonna be horrible. we're all going to be talking about you constantly. And I hope that you can enjoy the fact that there's going to be a lot of positive chats about you here for a very long time. I know clients are going to be asking about you, and it's going to suck to have this conversation over and over, but I'm really happy for you. I can't wait to see your journey and be a cheerleader for you. And we're here for you. Come back, do like I encourage you to do like a visit here and there where you maybe like see some of your old clients, even if you wanted to. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Thank you for all those kind words. I actually was talking to some of my clients, like, if I'm ever in Miami, like, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I definitely...
Like a pop-up visit.
Yeah, I definitely know that I will be back visiting and like seeing everyone in the studio, seeing clients and everything. I think this has been a very good place for me for, I think I've said it to you before, like, for the time period of my life that I am in or was in, I feel like this was like the perfect spot to be in, both personally and professionally. And so I definitely, it's not a clean break off. I will definitely be back, and I hope to stay up to date with everyone else's stuff that goes on and what goes on in the studio. I'm definitely gonna miss it a lot.
Yeah, we will miss you too. Thank you for this interview, Meagan. I really appreciate it. We're gonna wrap up now and stay tuned for upcoming news.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.